Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel at commaik. In this video I want to introduce you to the brand new Reolink Elite Floodlight camera. And as you can see, this is not just any camera, no, it's a 180 degrees camera with 4K resolution and 2 integrated floodlights. Yes, there was something like this before with the Duo 2. Unfortunately, it's no longer available. But it's coming back. If you want to know what this camera is all about, then stay tuned, because that's exactly what this video is about. The Reolink Elite Floodlight camera is finally hitting the market. And why? It's simple. Reolink is turning 16 and is releasing a whole bunch of new camera models to the market. I was able to test this camera in advance so I could introduce it to you. And what you see here really impressed me, at least at first glance. The floodlight camera looks almost like the Argus 4 Pro. But no, it's an Elite model with a 180 degrees field of view to the left and right. I have intelligent motion detection. I can set up zones and define dwell times. I can set up exclusion zones, all digitally via the app or client. And in addition, I have the option to use not just the small LED spotlights that the other cameras have. No, I have these two floodlights, each emitting 3000 lumens of light output. And the spotlights are dimmable and adjustable from warm white to icy cold. And I have to say, the camera's specs sound almost too good to be true on paper. I'll now introduce this camera to you in detail. I'll show you what's included. Then I'll install it on the smartphone in the app and of course also on the PC using the client. After that, I'll mount it and show you what the camera can do. I'll test the combination with the motion alarm of the other cameras I'm using here. And then, at the end, there will of course be a conclusion and a purchase recommendation or not. Before we get started, one important note. The camera was provided to me free of charge by Reolink. And as before, I will add this camera to my prize pool to hold a huge giveaway. I will be raffling off all the cameras to you, so you can also win this camera. It's definitely worth watching the video all the way to the end. Subscribe to my channel and give me a like right now. And if you have any questions about the camera or my projects, feel free to leave a comment under the video. And now I'm going to head up to the office and show you the camera in detail. Have fun and come along. Back in my office, I want to take a closer look at the Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi camera from Reolink with you. I've got the device here on my desk now, and you can see the size. This is not a small camera. This thing is big, heavy and solid. Even though the surfaces are made of plastic, the camera itself is probably aluminum. I'm holding several kilograms of weight in my hand here. Let's start with the heart of it all, the camera. An 8 megapixel dual camera system that delivers true 4K resolution. The two lenses of the camera provide 5120 by 1552 pixels. This allows you to easily recognize license plates, clothing, or even the animals on my property. The binocular lens technology provides a 180 degrees image, allowing you to film entire house fronts. You can also cover large properties with it. I think that's really great. The camera automatically stitches the two individual images together into one complete picture. Ultimately, the technology is the same as in the Duo cameras or the Argus 4 Pro or the Elite X Pro, which I have here next to me. The integrated floodlight, provided by the two spotlights above the camera, delivers up to 3000 lumens of light output. And that's really extremely bright, comparable to a car headlight or a stadium lamp. The brightness can be adjusted continuously, directly via the app or the client. You can also set the color temperature individually and variably. From 3000K, which is a pleasant warm white light for a friendly atmosphere, up to 6000K, which is a cool white light for optimal brightness and also for deterrence. There are 3 options for controlling the lighting. The continuous light via timer control, automatic lighting from dusk till dawn, and motion-activated lighting. This means that as soon as people, vehicles or animals are detected by the camera, the light is turned on. The camera also features AI detection, just like the other cameras. It distinguishes between people, vehicles and animals in the field of view, which of course significantly reduces false alarms. Additionally, you can individually define specific surveillance areas within the camera. You can set up a virtual fence, and as soon as someone crosses this line, the alarm is triggered. For example, you can use this to secure your garage or the patio door. The area in front of it is marked in the app and the alarm is activated. There's also the option to set a zone dwell time. This means the camera does not trigger the alarm immediately. You can individually set how long the object must remain in this area before an alarm is triggered. Of course, this is a very individual feature, but it offers many advantages if you really want to work effectively with the cameras. So, what else is there to say? Unlike the Elite X Pro, this camera is a Wi-Fi camera. I have information from Reolink that there will also be a PoE camera for this later on, which will be powered directly via the network cable. This camera does not have a network port. As you can see on the back, there's only a connector for a power plug. The appropriate cable is included. You will need to connect it yourself. The wires of the cable are color-coded. Connecting it is not rocket science. You know, I have to inform you that such work should of course only be carried out by a qualified professional. But ultimately you can decide for yourself whether you want to connect the wires of the power cable to the back of the camera using a Wago connector. Of course, you can also use a regular power cable and connect one end to the camera and the other end in a junction box directly to the power circuit. That works just the same, of course. By the way, for mounting, you have a bracket that is nicely rubberized on the back, so it doesn't scratch anything. And what I personally really like, the bracket has an integrated spirit level, so the camera can be mounted straight on the wall. What else is included? The screw set is of course included. And, which I think is really great and incredibly convenient, there's a dedicated key to securely tighten the camera in its final, perfectly aligned position. You might already know the common problem that cameras still tend to wobble a bit when you attempt to tighten the mounting ring by hand. So up until now, you typically had to hold the camera with one hand and carefully turn the screw with the other, and most of the time your fingers just aren't strong enough. Reolink now includes a separate key for this. I think that's a really nice touch. What else is included with this product? You will also find a durable USB-A to USB-C cable, which is essential for connectivity. I'll have to see where to connect that. I suspect there's a USB-C port under the camera's cover, that's all there is. You can store the data the camera records directly in the cloud. Reolink offers its own cloud service. If that's not for you, then save to your network video recorder. That works. It should also work on the Home Hub and the Home Hub Pro. And if you don't have that, you can save the data to a micro SD card directly in the camera. For example, one like this. You just need to make sure the card's write speed is sufficient. Insert the card down here, and then you can record the data locally on the camera. By the way, you can access the data from anywhere in the world, either at home via the app on your phone or through the client you see behind me. And when you're on the go, you can access this data worldwide via Wi-Fi or mobile data. You can see the live feed and of course also access the alarm recordings. You can download them to your phone or to your computer, whatever you prefer. It all works. At this point, it's worth mentioning that not only the alarm recordings are interesting, but also the live images. Anyone who wants to observe animals knows this. You can simply watch them, and in addition, the camera of course also has the great time-lapse function. You heard right, just like with the 180 degrees cameras, where it's now standard, you can also use the time-lapse function here. You can set it individually or choose from a preset mode, for example sunrise, sunset or the course of the day. The camera automatically creates a beautiful time-lapse video over the entire duration you have specified. I think that's really great. If you're interested, take a look at the top right corner. There you'll find my playlist. In the playlist, I always provide the night recordings for the cameras I test, so you can get an idea of what it looks like at night. These night recordings were all created exclusively using this time-lapse function. Well, my first impression of the camera, Reolink has really packed everything you could wish for in an outdoor camera into this one. In my opinion, the main focus is clearly on deterrence, visibility and smart analysis or detection. This camera doesn't even try to hide, nor does it want to record secretly. This camera makes a clear statement. Attention, surveillance is taking place here. You have no business here. You are not welcome here. And now I come to the next step. The camera needs to be installed in the garden. That's what I'm going to do now. Using my smartphone, I'll scan the QR code, add the camera to my network and set it up on the NVR. After that, I'll head out to my test area to mount the camera. So I'll install the camera and connect the power cable. Of course, I'll take you along with me for this. Before I do that, a tip from me. This time too, the camera was provided to me free of charge by Reolink. because Reolink is celebrating its 16th anniversary this year. And if you want to get in on the gifts that Reolink is giving away, take a look below the video in the video description. There you'll find the promo link from Reolink that I'm allowed to share with you. Great deals and great discounts. Check it out to see if there's something for you as well. And of course, feel free to leave me a comment right now as well. What do you think of this camera? How do you like the look, the design and the technical features? Installing the camera is incredibly simple. I attached the mounting plate to the wood with 2 screws. Then I just pressed the camera into the mount and secured it with the 2 screws. There are additional rubber covers to seal the enclosure and make it waterproof. However, I didn't install those. This is just a test setup. You can also see that here with the cable. If you install this at home, you'll run the power cable through the wall or in a cable duct to keep it safe and protected. After mounting the camera, I simply aligned it using my app. In the app, I already have the camera running, so I can see exactly how I need to position it to get the best view. Well, now I can head back up to the computer and test out a few functions on the client, fine-tuning the camera settings properly. Of course, these functions all work in the app as well. Personally though, I prefer to do this via the client. I like my big screen. I guess I'm a bit old-fashioned that way. It just gives me more control over what I'm doing. Now I'll take you back up to my office with me. After mounting the Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi camera on my wooden shelf, I can now set it up in the client as well. On the left in my navigation bar, the camera was automatically detected. I just need to enter the password so I can access the camera. To enter the data, I click on the tile and enter the password that I had already set up in the app. After logging in, the camera's image is displayed. I can access the context menu in the live view by moving the mouse over the image. Here I can access the microphone, the time-lapse function and the siren. I can manually control the floodlight, start a recording or take a photo. Additionally, I can of course also adjust the resolution here, but none of this is particularly exciting to me since it's pretty much the same with every Reolink camera. I'm switching to the camera settings to check out the additional features. In the display menu, I set the anti-flicker function to 50 Hz and left the day and night switching on automatic. As you can see, there's a foreign object outside my property visible in my image. I have to blur that out completely in Germany. To do this, I can meticulously mask the specific area with several distinct small rectangles. That way, I am fully compliant with all relevant data protection regulations and legal requirements. In the advanced settings, of course, I can make further adjustments to the image. You can take your time with that once you have the camera. What I find much more interesting is the motion detection feature. The sensitivity is preset to 40 or 41 by default. That works for me. However, I increase the intelligent detection of people, vehicles and animals to 100. Here, I want the camera to trigger every single time something is detected. The menu for the light is also interesting, because this camera not only offers the 2 lenses, but also the floodlight. That's what really makes the whole thing exciting. Here I have the following options. The floodlight can be turned on and off. I can adjust the brightness up to 3000 lumens. There are different modes for the spotlight. I can leave it completely off. I can also use the smart mode. This means that the lighting will always turn on in the dark whenever a motion alarm is triggered. I can turn it on as a continuous light at night or set specific times using a timer. So from when to when should this lamp be on? The difference from the previous option is simply in how the ambient light is distinguished. As soon as the camera detects that it's getting dark and switches to infrared, the spotlight will also turn on. In smart mode, the detection of people, vehicles and animals for turning on the lights can be controlled individually. I still think that's a great feature. I'd also like to quickly show you how you can easily access the recordings on your computer or in the app. I'm here on the client on my computer and have selected the live view of the Elite Floodlight camera. Through the playback menu item, I can switch to the playback menu and you can see the blue and gray bars of the recordings at the bottom of the timeline. The blue bars result from motion detection and the gray bars are from additional recordings. I can now select a date for which I want to view a recording, and in addition I can use the filter to specify exactly what I want to see. As soon as I select a filter, only the corresponding alarm events are shown in the timeline. The filters can also be combined with each other. Now I can click into this black area and the next recording will automatically be shown to me. Here, for example, is an alarm event triggered by this cat, which can be seen on the right side of the image. But I can also look further back at night and see here that, for example, a fairly large fox once again strolled across our property. By scrolling on the timeline, I can zoom in even further and take a closer look. Let's move on to the conclusion of the Reolink Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi camera. This camera is designed to deter. Thanks to the two extremely bright spotlights, the area is very well illuminated and potential burglars and unwanted guests are effectively scared off. That definitely convinced me. I thoroughly tested the features. I was already familiar with most of them from the other cameras. What was new to me was the virtual zone that I could set up. As soon as an object enters these virtual zones and fences, they trigger an alarm either immediately or after a defined period of time. That worked very well. What personally bothered me a bit was that I could only set this up through the app. So on the small screen of my phone and not on the client on my computer, I would like to see Reolink improve this a bit. On the smartphone, everything is just a little too small, but it works. And that's definitely important. What else is there to say about the camera? Well, the resolution really convinced me. The daytime view is very clear. I have 180 degrees that the camera covers. I really like that as well. When it comes to the night view, I'm still a bit undecided. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the switch from black and white to color. The delay time of about 1 to almost 2 seconds is relatively long. At night, the camera detected the movement, then it automatically turned on the spotlights and rebuilt the color image. That took about 1 to 2 seconds. And especially with the quick martins, you could clearly see that the animal was detected here and was already over there before I even got the color image. My recommendation is leave the light on permanently at night. The power consumption should remain reasonable and you also get an extra deterrent effect. Or you can simply stick with the black and white view. Then there's no switch to the color mode. Otherwise, I think this is a very, very good camera. I will definitely continue testing this camera and keep using it. If you have any questions about this model, feel free to leave a comment under the video. What would you like to know? Give me your feedback on this camera. And if you're interested in this device, if you want to know where to get it, then also take a look below the video, because there you'll find the promo link from Reolink, which I'd like to share with you and highly recommend. And in addition, you'll also find links to the accessories you might need. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm already looking forward to the next video with you. Until then, take care. Bye.